Doreen Grand-Pichet is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen. Now, Ems wrote into us from Germany, and we want to say hi to Ems. They write in and say, my daughter is 4. She is clever, can read and count, but she can't speak a lot. And she squeezes her arms, mom's arms, until bleeding.
Oh.
Is there any way to reduce hand flapping or to find an alternative for her? So there's a lot there. I personally, I'm much more concerned about the squeezing the arms until bleeding than the hand flapping. I don't know anybody who's ever, hand flapping can get in the way of other things that you want to do, but I don't know anybody who's been hurt by hand flapping. But if you're squeezing until the arms bleed, that would be first on my list.
Yeah. And I can't, unfortunately, Ems, I cannot tell you the intervention without knowing the function of the squeezing. So, and let me talk about that a little bit. We've about 10 minutes, Shannon, I think, left, and I'll just talk about the functions of behavior because I think that's important and helpful to everyone, maybe. So, I like to break it down to just 2 things, right? Every behavior that we do, whatever it might be, is to gain something or to avoid something. That's just the way that I look at it, right? For instance, Shannon and I do this show because we're trying to gain access to followers, because what rewards us is being able to help people who call in. That's a reward for us, so we're trying to gain that reward. You go to work because you are trying to gain money, which on its own is not a reinforcer, it's a token, but you use that money to buy food and take care of your family or whatever it is, right? So that's your reward. You're trying to gain that. We go to, we go to parties most of the time because we want to gain attention or we want to gain a social reward by hanging out with our friends. So typically the 2 things that we want to gain are something like an tangible or an activity or something, or attention. Attention is also a reward. And what are some of the things we want to avoid, right? So, for instance, same behavior. I go to work and diligently work 8 hours a day or however long it is because I'm trying to avoid getting fired. I'm trying to avoid being poor. I'm all of these things, right? So our children go to school because some of our kids love being around other friends. That's their reward of something they want to gain. They also want to gain your approval. A lot of our typically developing kids go to school because, parents expect them to go to school. So the child is not going to stay at home and just say, I refuse to go, because they also want to kind of avoid your anger, avoid embarrassment of not being educated like their friends or all of that. So everything has to do with what is the child trying to gain? What is it they're trying to avoid? Now take those rules and apply it to any of these challenging behaviors. And when your daughter squeezes you to the point that your arms are bleeding, what is it that she is trying to avoid or gain? Is she doing that just because she's trying to gain your attention? Is she doing that because, like the other parent who had written in, you just placed a demand and she's trying to tell you, I don't want to do this? What would it be that she would vocalize if she could vocalize? Because the main key response, the way you intervene, is to make sure that the challenging behavior doesn't work. It doesn't get your child what they're trying to gain, first of all, and that you are giving them a better, more adaptive way to communicate whatever it is. So, for instance, if the child could be taught, I need a break, okay, instead of squeezing your arms, they would either do this or they would touch an icon that says break, or they would say, I need a break. Whatever it is that they can do that's more appropriate way of saying, I don't want to do what you just asked me, or a more appropriate way of saying, I need some sort of contact with you right now, right? Whatever it is, there are appropriate ways to teach the communication. And we want to ignore and not allow the inappropriate, the challenging communication to work. Hopefully that makes sense. It's very, very simple, but when you apply it to, like, you're in the middle of your arms bleeding or you're in a struggle with your child, there's a million questions that go with it. So please feel free to write in and explain to me like how else I can help you with that particular thing. I'm guessing there's a function here. There's a reason that she does that.
Yes, and she wrote in and said that sometimes she does it when she's happy and sometimes she does it when she's upset. It seems like it's a very distinct. Sometimes when she's angry. I'm wondering how much functional communication this precious person has.
Has, absolutely. Yeah. And we just need to know a little bit more. And, a lot of times our parents think that their child is non communicative or like non vocal, and therefore they have to allow these behaviors. No, not at all. You can use icons, you can use pictures. There are non communicate vocal ways of communicating what we want.
Wonderful. And I also want to say, Karen wrote in and said, this is so helpful, but I have to go to work. Can I watch a replay? We have a child 5, engages in deep pressure humping. He will stop when told to, but then straight away starts again. I want everybody to know that this show is available after it's live. It is available on our YouTube channel in its entirety. Our entire library is there. So you can go back and watch 11 years of Ask Dr. Doreen there. And you don't have to just sit and watch the whole thing. There, if you go to autismnetwork.com, at the top there is an icon that says search by topic, and if you go into there and put in your topic, you can either search by letter or you can put in a search like potty training. It will show you all of the videos, the questions that she's been asking. It's not entirely up to date, but we're getting it more up to date. But there's a good solid 10 years there that you can go and search, and the question will be, my child is 12 and, smears feces. You might go, well, that's not the one for me, but you go to the next one and say, my child can pee in the potty, but can't poop. And then you can hear what Dr. Grampuchet, you just click on it and it goes right to that video. I also didn't say at the start of the show that we're doing an experiment this week, Dr. Grampuchet, that normally this show is a podcast. It's available wherever you can download any podcast, and it's available for free. We are doing a test this week to see, because we have our video podcasts are all available on YouTube, and we've made the podcast available to you in either video or in the audio, only because many of you like to take us in the car with you and go with it. So this week we're doing an experiment to see, and let us know if we're ticking you off, but we're only making the audio podcasts available on the podcast platforms, and we're asking you, if you want to watch the video, to go to YouTube. Now, if you complain, we will hear and listen to that, but we'd like to know if that works for you guys. It's actually a huge time saving for us, plus which it's a huge saving for us to be able to spend the money that the podcasters charge us to do the video on other things. So please let us know if that works for you. If that doesn't work for you, we're going to be watching the data to see how that works for you guys. So, but do check out our YouTube channel. It's very easy. Go to youtube.com/autism-live. It's all there. All of it is there. Not only the Ask Dr. Doreen, but everything that we've ever done ever, truly there. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here. Don't forget, you can watch Ask Dr. Doreen live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time on autismnetwork.com. We hope to see you there.